Your flyers in prayer. I breathe in your fire, your faults, your flyers in prayer. It's not even a thought, not that I'm there, holding him down at the top of the stairs. Oh, rise, oh, rise, on a ray, oh, rise, oh, rise, on a ray, I breathe in your fire, your faults, your flyers in prayer. I breathe in your fire, your faults, your flyers in prayer. It's not even a war, not that I care. Falling in and out of a church that we fled. Now you're living like a ghost, or you sleep in your chair, holding it down at the top of the stairs. I breathe in your fire, your faults, your flyers in prayer. I breathe in your fire, your faults, your flyers in prayer. I breathe in your fire, your faults, your flyers in prayer. Oh, rise, oh, rise, on a ray, oh, rise, oh, rise, on a ray, oh,
Welcome to Sessions from Oblivion, episode 6, and you have been listening to Vale. I'm delighted to have the main man, Owen. How the hell are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. All Rise. What is that about?
That's kind of that song was written during COVID, and I think it's about a number of things and
Erectile dysfunction.
the loneliness.
Hey, you could sell that to an advertising agency.
Yeah, maybe. No, I think more so it's just kind of, it was written around that time of like being kind of separated from everyone, and it was afterwards when we could get back to our studio and things like that. It was one of the first songs that we finished, that Dave and I finished together, and it was so much fun to actually be back in a room together finishing it. But really the essence of it is kind of like, you know, people were alone but together, but in a different way, kind of, because the way we put the song together, we'd been file sharing.
How do you write a song like that? How do you write electronic music?
Like, it kind of varies for me. A lot of the time I would literally just start with a piano, super simple, and I just go from there. I kind of try to make the fundamentals or the roots of something to be very simple, and then I try and just like mess it up as much as I possibly can.
I like it.
So for that song, for example, I think I just started that one with a synth pad, and I was just singing, and then I got a beat, the beat from the chorus, and then just started adding things and taking them away.
Do the lyrics always come second, or do you ever write the lyrics first?
Most of the time, I would try to get a fairly comprehensive idea of what the lyrics are going to be, or what the structure at least is going to be, kind of from a rough guesstimate of the start point and the finish points. Lyrically, I would change stuff a lot by the time it's finished. It's probably quite different to where we were.
Are you one of these guys that writes down little things during the day and you go,
Yeah.
that might... Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My phone is...
So you might have an idea for a lyric, and then
Yep.
the lyric might come first, and then you put the music to it.
Yeah, I'll have like a stash of sentences and phrases that I
stash
think
of
are
sentences.
interesting.
You should call the album that.
Yes.
Vale with the stash of sentences. There's a video for All Rise.
Yeah, we did this video. We shot a live video, which was pretty crazy. In hindsight, we went to this old woolen mill in South Tipperary with the band and Adam O'Regan from Soda Blonde.
Okay.
He came down and directed it, and we essentially put like a mobile filming studio and a recording studio into this crazy abandoned woolen mill that was like kind of very post-apocalyptic looking.
Right.
And I had it all prepped and ready to go, and then when we got there I realized that only 2 sockets were working. So we ran like everything. We were like, we'll just see how long it takes before we blow this building up. Thankfully we didn't.
Next time you need to hire Leslie Kane. She's our project manager.
Yes.
And she fixes everything.
Yeah.
Except for me. She wasn't able to fix me.
No.
But my wife has been trying that for years, you know, and failing. Did you start a new festival in Tipperary?
Yeah, we did. Me and a group of people. It's myself and my wife actually, and a few people from the Junction Festival and a company in Clonmel. We all had this mad idea to try and start this new thing in Clonmel, mainly because I think when I was like a teenager, like I remember growing up, and Clonmel used to be like a tour stop for bands, you know.
The Dinree, was it?
Sorry?
The Dinree, is that the...
No,
that's Carlo.
There was Devans, and there was like Dano's and O'Keefe's, but like, you know, Bellick Swan and Lisa Hannigan, all the kind of major Irish artists that would be doing tours would always kind of stop in Clonmel, and that kind of wasn't there anymore. So we wanted to start this thing to kind of bring that music back to Tipperary. Right. And we found this this amazing location in this walled garden in a hotel there. So yeah, we kind of used their gardens and had house plants and us and...
What is the name
Soda
of the festival?
Blonde. When Next We Meet, I should probably...
Excellent,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have more from Owen, but first, the guest on this show is Ceara Conway.
Mohiod gan chialag mohiod dan diom Shahin Shaho nach moire antana Malhalav in Nahala in Nalaba Gambron Nalyamav Mahliav Godnairi the Hamla Slavna Gusanas Nahuyedahoir By Mishaladahiav Eguier de Vannacht is Shahin Lalav is me and me too low. Nerwalahanti Ashiogiala Fui Hunrean Tarieg Gimmertizegol Shahiad Nishiad Egli Hermalianav Egiri Heviala Is this on his word Shahin Shaho Mastoires Malyanav Mahyod Gamhyala Mahit dan Piloir Shahin Shaho Nach Moire Handana Malyamav in Nachala in Nalaba Gambron
Thank you very much, Ciara.
You're so welcome.
And thank you, Mary.
Thanks.
That was really beautiful.
Of course, thank you.
What-
Thanks for having us.
What is it called?
Shahin Shaho.
And what does that mean?
It's a vocable, so it actually has no meaning. It's because it's a lullaby. So like you know the sounds that you make that have no meaning but they're comforting.
Okay.
So vocables fascinate me. Yeah, words, not non-words and words at the same time.
Brilliant. You have a record out?
I do. Queen came out last year.
Yeah.
With a great response, and we've just finished a national tour. We finished up in the National Concert Hall last week.
Wow.
So it's been all go, and it's been brilliant.
Yeah. Where can people buy the album?
Bandcamp, and you can also check my website for details at www.cearaconway.ie.
cearaconway.ie. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Beautiful. It's time for tips and tricks, and this episode is Aoife Woodlock.
Hello, Aoife Woodlock. How the hell are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Beautiful autumn day on the canal in Dublin 8.
Lovely.
Sun beaming. So happy days.
Yeah. Of course, I would have met you years ago. You ran numerous venues, including the Temple Bar Music Centre and stuff, before you became music producer on the excellent Other Voices. Okay, so tips and tricks. What would be the first tip or trick for young talent?
I suppose when I was in BIM a few years ago doing tutorials, the one thing that constantly came up with, like, amazing students and so talented and very focused, was one's expectations. There is a thing with being in music, or what it is to make it, and it's kind of bullshit. You need to hone your craft. If you're a drummer, or you're a piano player, or a cello player, or the lead singer of a band, and you're writing and writing and writing, you just need to hone your craft and be brilliant at what it is that you do. Because when you get to the point of being at the stage, and when you take your family and your friends and your boyfriends and your girlfriends and your partners out of it, who's there? Who is there that's going to go, Jesus, that song was brilliant? And if you're a new band and I walk away from a tiny gig on a wet Wednesday in the winter and I know one of your songs is good, I'll go, okay, I'm going to check them out.
Brian Whitehead had suggested in the last series that bands don't gig. He said, don't, if it's just going to be to your cousins and your girlfriends, it's expensive and there's no point in it. He suggested it's better to build it. And with social media, not that we had it in our day, but anyway, build it up so there is an audience. That's what he suggested.
No. I mean, that wouldn't. I've stood in venues for 30 years and I've never booked an act for TV unless I've seen them live.
Right.
And the only time I've done that is in lockdown.
What would your second tip or trick be?
Well, I think tied in with what we've just spoken about. I mean, it's like, what motivates you? I know what motivates me working in music. And I know what motivates other people that I know that are. So what is it that is motivating you to want to dedicate the next 5 years of your life making a brilliant record, touring a brilliant record, and potentially making another one? What is that motivation? Because motivation and expectation in the industry, it's really important, because you've loads of people that are going to say, oh my God, there's no such thing as the next big thing. We know that, but there's from an Irish perspective, people just say the next U2, and I'm like, oh lads, come on, like,
Yeah.
we have a wealth. I'm listening to music every day of the week for my job. We have such a wealth of music. Your manager is not your mate. It's not the person that you met in college that thinks you're great and is going to dedicate 6 months of his or her, year out of college to work with you. A manager is an experienced person who knows the industry, knows contracts, knows lawyers, can talk with lawyers, can look at territories, can look at radio play in territories, can look at what's happening on a global level, what's happening with digital, what's happening. That's a manager.
Okay.
And I could paint the street with the amount of bands over 30 years who it is. This is Aoife, this is Tom, this is Mary. And I'm like, these are brilliant people and they're smart people, but they do not have the industry chops.
Right.
And you have a manager who pays for the first record, takes out a credit union loan, and then the band are indebted to the person who isn't a manager but is a mate.
What is your final tip or trick?
Oh, stay healthy. Stay healthy. Mind yourself. Like, honestly, there's people get absolute burnout. Youth is for living. Music is the absolute lifeblood of what so many of us do. What so many of us do when we're not working on it, we're listening to it.
What does a young artist need to do to get on the show? Be brilliant.
Be good.
Yeah.
Be good. Just be good. Don't be going by your own ego and this is a great song and Andrew Bass saw it and said it was amazing and he's sending it to Arthur and Mary in London. They said it was amazing. You'll know when your song is good. Just get out there, gig. I understand where Brian might be coming from in terms of how his experience with Picture This was all band to fan. Everything was built up and it was phenomenal. And they ended up just kind of going into arenas.
Yes.
But that's highly unusual.
It is.
That's like I do a bit of work with Sigrid, and she's in the Three Arena soon, and we've been working with her since she's like 17, filmed her a number of times. Her first song she wrote in her house in Norway. Her brother heard it and said, I'm putting that in for the Norway Song Competition, which is like their Mercury's. And she won. Highly unusual.
Yeah, but it does happen.
But it does happen. And I can go to a showcase, and honest to God, I want to break my neck to get out of it because it's just like, oh, Jesus. But rubbish.
Oh. Okay.
Starting off, learning how to play. I'll see them in a year.
Yeah.
I'll see them in the year when they're not all being brilliant at their own instrument and they're a holistic sounding band.
Yeah, you mentioned on the phone yesterday, which I think is terrific, that you did receive a demo that was awful, but awful because it was recorded on a phone or something. I think that's brilliant that you rang them to tell them, to give them advice. Don't be sending it out.
Because you know what? I was at my wit's end. I had to listen to 100 songs in a week for a thing I was doing.
Okay.
And I was marking them down on my little vibometer. So I was like, that's actually brilliant because she has an amazing voice. So, song isn't there, but Jesus, she's amazing.
Okay.
And then this guy sent me something. I won't go into the details, but I actually couldn't believe he sent it to me. It was a video of himself. And I just was like, what? That's why I phoned him, because I was demented.
Yeah.
And I just said, look, like, you know what this thing is you've sent it to. But like me sending an application in somewhere and it just has my name and address in it.
Yeah.
Or I just said, what made you think that? And he was just like, I was just, Anyway, I ended up having a very funny conversation with him, and he was now dote, and he just thought, fuck it. I'm going to sit on this stool on me landing. I won't tell you, there was all kinds of doors open in the background. I won't say anymore. And I just thought, well, and he says, after all of that, he said, have I any chance? I said, listen, you're a dote, and you want to play music. You keep on doing it, but just keep the expectations. Like, work hard. We all have to work hard in what we do. I'm self-employed my whole life, and
Me too.
you have to work hard. It's the basis of any creative, whether you're a poet or a sculptor. On
the other hand, admittedly, he was never going to get in the show, but it shows determination. In the 80s, I was in a band.
Yeah, but Andrew, that's me sending a picture.
I know.
Of my dog into the gallery. There you are. Am I going to win? Are you going to see me now in the National Gallery?
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah.
Like that kind of, Jesus, you're great, and you have there's a lot. We are a tiny island in a massive, gorgeous world. Something's not so gorgeous. And the internet exists. You could send something to a producer in Berlin at 12 o'clock today and say, hey, I'm an electronic artist. I've done this work with this person. What do you think?
Yeah.
We live in Ireland.
Yeah. You need to
get out here.
Here. Yes. Yeah.
We live here, but everything else creative is out there. And I was at a thing last night, and there was a writer who's just made her own film, and she just said, just ask, if you meet the person, just say, can I send you something?
Yeah, make the contact.
Just make the contact.
Thank you so much. Very informative. And I do appreciate you taking the time.
That was Aoife Woodlock from Other Voices. Thanks very much for that, Aoife. Before we play out on the final song, I Don't Need You Right Now, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, so I Don't Need You Right Now was kind of the last single that came out with the debut Vale EP, Aftertouch. It's kind of, I think I wanted it, we wanted to kind of make that song feel like more dance orientated. Kind of like as I progress with the Vale project, I think it would be interesting to try and marry kind of the analog sounds we use with kind of harder dance sounding songs. And
is there a reason for that, or is it just it tickled your fancy?
it was just something that I thought was interesting, and
Yeah.
even though it's still kind of, it's like deceptively fast, and by the end of the song it's quite fast,
Okay.
just because there is so many different rhythms happening. But that's it was super fun to make. We spent like so much time automating things, and that would pop up and happen once and then never happen again, and lots of different.
There's a surprising amount of things happening when you and Dave are playing. There's obviously the two keyboards.
Yeah.
Dave is hitting samples. You're changing delays with your feet. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, we try to strip back as much as we possibly can, most of the time. Simple, I think, is
Yeah.
always best. If you can make something sound complicated, but it's actually simple, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for
Thanks so
coming
much
all
for
the
having
way
us.
from Tipperary.
Yes.
You're heading
yeah.
back there now, are you?
Shortly, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so
Well,
much for having us.
Listen, it's been a great pleasure.
Cheers.
Okay, we're going to play out with Vale, I Don't Need You Right Now.
It's the soul of the grass that is underneath your back. The motion you make when you're never coming back. The thought of your friends, the day now you were born. The moment you can replace what you done. Need you right now. I don't need you right now. Need you right now. I don't need you right now. The days that you make falling into one. The thoughtlessness like a detail overturned. The waves that you break falling off a track. The moment you can replace what you done. Need you right now. I don't need you right now. Need you right now. I don't need you right now. Need you right now. I don't need you right now. Need you right now. I don't need you right now. You're breaking ground, and I go follow you, knowing you're breaking ground, and I go follow you, knowing the moment you can replace